What's up, everybody? I'm just now getting back home from Miami. I was on vacation, but of course, I had to come back with my second week of Testimony Tuesday. Yeah, so basically, this is gonna just sum up everything from me being 7 years old all the way up until I got to high school. If you didn't check out the first video, you might definitely want to listen to that video first so that way you're able to understand where we're going with this next video. So in the last video, all of you guys found out that I was adopted, and basically me growing up was definitely the most amazing thing ever because I have a loving family. They definitely took care of me. I was definitely a spoiled child. Like, they would make sure I had anything I wanted. I mean, of course, I had to make sure I did good in school, and also I did well in my sports that I participated in. But there was kind of a couple issues with my behavior. I was, about 3 different elementary schools, 2 middle schools, but luckily I only went to 1 high school. So I kind of got my act together once I got older. But definitely in my younger days, I had a bad attitude, and of course my parents wouldn't just allow that to happen, but I just guess sometimes I would be upset. I don't know why. But going into my middle school days, I had a few close friends, and my very first close friend, his name was Liddell Golden, but we always call him Junior. And he was basically a family friend to my parents because they were already close friends with his parents. So that was an easy connection for me and him to become close friends. And we used to basically go everywhere together. Like, my parents would take us to Busch Gardens, like out of Aquatica, like all the little fun little water parks, theme parks, whatever. He was definitely my best friend. And he used to always come over to my house, spend the night. And we definitely used to play a lot on my trampoline growing up. We taught each other how to do all types of crazy flips and everything. And then this goes into how I met my second close friend, Trayvon Bromell, who you all know is a professional athlete for New Balance. He also runs track and field. So basically, he lived in the house behind me, and he saw me and Junior jumping on the trampoline, and he wanted to come and play. So of course I was like, yeah, just come over. He jumped the fence, and ever since then we became close. Also, he began running with me on the same track team as me and Junior, Lightning Bolt Track Club, because my dad told him to race us in the street. And me and Junior were always good growing up because we started at a young age, and we used to basically top in the nation. So Trayvon raced us in the streets, and he beat us, which meant he was definitely a lot faster. So he started to run also, and then that's when we all built this connection and grew up together. During the time, like, my dad, he had me play a lot of sports, so I also was involved in, I played like baseball, tennis, football, and in the football I played for Silver Raiders. Is the same team that me and Junior played for growing up. And when we played for this team, there was a rivalry team which we call the Gibbs Gladiators. And on this team, it was 2 special athletes who were identical twins, and they were like really good. So going up into the game, this is when my team used to play at Lakewood Estates. And we saw this team. We went to go watch their game one time because we had a bye week, and we knew we had to play them coming up in a few weeks. So our coaches took us to the game to like watch them play. And then I just see one of the twins, he had one arm, and he was running down the sideline with the football, and he was scoring a touchdown. And I was just like, what? I've never seen nothing like that before in my life. So I knew he was definitely special and had a God-given talent. So basically, I became friends with them also because my dad introduced them to the Lightning Bolt Track Club, and they began to run track also. But before running for Lightning Bolts, they already ran for a track team called St. Pete Striders. Yeah, so basically they joined my track team and we became closer. We went to the same middle school, same high school, and now they're in the NFL playing for the Seattle Seahawks. So I definitely know that God put us together and had a strong connection between all of us, because if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have made it to the level we are today. But that just goes to show that with hard training and of course with faith, God is allowing anything to become possible. And plus, because we live in a small city, it was just even a greater scale, because it's just amazing how all of us have come from out of that city and then done a lot of better things in our life. We've all graduated from college and all sorts of things. So I'm definitely proud of everyone and their accomplishments. And now from this story, I'm gonna go into talking about how my life had transitioned a bit, but it wasn't too drastic for me. I mean, I kept pushing. It was not gonna do anything to hurt me. It just all made me stronger. So when I got into the 7th grade, my parents got a divorce because some things happened, but I was totally fine. I mean, it wasn't a hard transition for me because I already knew my stepbrothers growing up, because they were on the same Little League football team as me, and they also went to my middle school. So we kind of built a strong connection already from being on the same sports team. And I would alternate from being at my mom's house to going to my dad's house every other week. It was definitely fun times over there because I've never grown up with any brothers. So for me to be able to be with them, it was a lot of fun. I mean, we used to do different things, go to the park, play basketball, a whole bunch of different things. From there, going into high school, of course, I was still playing multiple sports, but I kind of summed it down to really focusing on track, because that's when I decided that I wanted to actually do a new event. I was doing the 800 for a while, but then I decided that I wanted to try hurdles, and one day my coach had a hurdle set up in the grass field, and I was like, wow, that looks like fun, so I'm gonna go over there and jump it. He was trying to figure out who would be able to jump hurdles. So I went over there, jumped over the hurdle, and he was like, dang, that looked kind of good. But of course, in high school, he didn't really know anything about hurdles. So it was just like a little guessing game. But once I actually did the hurdles, I started to watch YouTube videos to get the technique down and learn different type of things that would help me get stronger in my adductors, my groin, my hip flexors. So that way it would be a lot easier for me once I actually got the form down. My trail leg would be coming over a lot quicker. My lead leg would be not too straight out, but just right. So I actually got that down packed over the years. Of course, the first year I did it, I would jump really high. It wasn't working out that well. I think I ran like a 42 in the 300 hurdles, but eventually I got my time down to 37 flat, which is fast, but I mean, it's not too fast. I won states with that, so I mean, it definitely got me to where I needed to get to. I used to stutter step a lot, so that's probably what caused time not to be as fast as it could have been. But my senior year in high school is when I actually went to Florida Relays. I won the 110 hurdles, which was crazy because I had a rival who was the best in the state of Florida, who won state championship the previous year in the 110s, but I ended up beating him at Florida Relays, and that's the